We're getting into one of the most talked about controversial stories circulating the internet right now. The whole messy situation surrounding Sexyy Red, some serious allegations about STDs, relationship drama, and some unexpected twists involving rapper Boosie Badazz. If you've been following the tea, you know this story went from wild jokes online to a full-blown cautionary tale with real-life consequences. So, if you're here for the facts, the drama, and the truth behind the headlines, stay tuned. We're about to unpack everything. Now, before we jump into the details, let's set the scene. Protection. Yeah, those things a lot of people swear by, but also a lot of folks seem to hate. You might have heard people say they don't trust them, or that protection make things uncomfortable, or even that they cause unpleasant odors. For some, the latex smell can be overpowering. Some even compare it to that fishy smell that makes you want to hold your nose. Others just don't like how protection feel, or they claim plastic protection don't work well. So they choose to go raw, that is no protection at all, and just hope for the best. It's a controversial choice and obviously comes with risks, but the reality is many people are out here making that call, whether because of discomfort, lack of trust, or simply wanting to feel more natural. Now, that decision can have some pretty serious consequences. And Sexyy Red's situation is a prime example of what can happen when protection goes out the window. So, what happened with Sexyy Red? For those who might not be fully caught up, Sexyy Red is a rapper who recently found herself at the center of an intense wave of rumors and serious accusations. It all started when news broke that she had caught an STD, and she actually owned up to it publicly. That alone sparked a huge reaction online because it's not every day you see an artist come clean about something so personal, especially in the spotlight where image is everything. But what made the situation even more complicated is that despite admitting she has an STD, people were still throwing themselves at her. That's right, men were still trying to get close, even after the news broke. It's wild how complicated relationships and attraction can be. What kind of STD does she have? She hasn't been super clear on the specifics, only mentioning that it's something treatable, possibly with medication. But even treatable infections can cause a lot of physical and emotional distress. The rumors swirled and intensified when insiders began saying that the infection was serious enough to land Sexyy Red in the hospital, dealing with extreme symptoms. Things weren't just rumors anymore. People close to her said she was struggling with unusual odors, discomfort, and emotional breakdowns. The gossip mill started naming names, and Boosie Badazz, another rapper, became the main suspect that Sexyy Red was blaming for infecting her. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the history between Sexyy Red and Boosie Badazz. These two have had a complicated connection for some time now. Back in 2023, Sexyy Red posted a photo that got people talking. She was laying in bed with a mystery man, his face turned away from the camera, and she was wearing an ankle monitor. Her caption was cryptic, talking about acting with drillers, dreadhead killers, without tagging anyone or giving names. The internet immediately connected the dots to Boosie Badazz, especially since he had an ankle monitor around that time and fits the driller vibe. But here's the thing. Boosie doesn't actually have dreadlocks, which made some people question the whole connection. Still, the timeline lined up too perfectly to ignore. Boosie didn't stay silent for long. He jumped on Twitter to shut down the rumors, telling everyone that the ankle monitor in the photo wasn't his, the size and color didn't match, and that he was actually on vacation with his daughter when the photo surfaced. So officially, he denied being the mystery man in that picture. But the rumors didn't stop there. Later on, when Sexyy Red and fellow rapper Glorilla dropped their music video for What You Know About Me, guess who randomly showed up in the background? Boosie Badazz. He wasn't featured in the song, but he appeared in the video shoot, allegedly because he and Sexyy Red were getting close behind the scenes. This made the gossip even more intense. Then came a viral clip showing Sexyy hyping up Boosie's show while he giggled like a schoolboy, clearly smitten and acting extra goofy. The vibe was unmistakable. Something was going on between them. But things quickly took a darker turn. The jokes about Sexyy Red's stank girl reputation, which some tried to write off as colorism, or people unfairly judging her because she's dark-skinned and unapologetically loud, suddenly felt a lot more serious. A rapper from Chicago named Von Off 1700 claimed that after hooking up with Sexyy Red, he couldn't get rid of the smell no matter how many showers he took. That added fuel to the fire and shifted the tone of the conversation from playful to concerning. Insiders close to Sexyy said the rumors about her hygiene weren't baseless and that she might be dealing with multiple untreated STIs that were seriously affecting her health. The stories spoke of extreme discomfort, strange odors, and fears that if she didn't get treatment soon, she could suffer permanent reproductive damage. The stakes got high, and the emotional fallout hit hard. Behind the scenes, Sexyy was reportedly breaking down, crying, lashing out, and blaming Boosie Badazz for allegedly infecting her. Now, things got even more complicated when Sexyy Red's baby daddy stepped into the drama. He basically confirmed the worst suspicions by saying that Sexyy was burning people, including him. He shared an audio clip of a phone call between them where he accuses her of lying about her status and passing infections around without telling people. The clip is intense, with him demanding to know why she didn't tell him the truth and calling her out for the damage caused. For those who aren't familiar, herpes simplex virus types 1 and 2, HSV1 and HSV2, are infections that cannot be cured, only managed. If someone has an active outbreak, the virus can be transmitted to a partner. But if there's no outbreak, transmission is less likely. It's a sensitive topic with a lot of stigma, but it's important to understand the facts and how these infections actually work. Sexyy Red's situation put this reality front and center. At first, Sexyy tried to brush off the rumors. She claimed the audio clip was taken out of context and said, people were just looking for ways to tear her down because she's a confident woman who speaks her mind. She posted on social media, "It's not true. Told y'all not to believe everything on this app." But that only made fans more skeptical, especially after she admitted on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast that she had contracted chlamydia twice in the past. On the podcast, she opened up about her personal journey, explaining that she and her boyfriend had broken up due to relationship issues, started seeing other people, and then decided to give it another shot. But when they got back together, something felt off. To be safe, they got tested, and that's when she found out about the infection. She admitted the news was shocking and that she never thought she'd be the type to catch an STD, but she owned it. She also talked about the emotional fallout and tried to use her experience as a wake-up call for her fans, emphasizing the importance of practicing safe sex, getting tested regularly, and being honest with partners. However, Sexyy Red's story begins in St. Louis, Missouri, where she grew up surrounded by a city with a rich musical legacy, but few artists who sounded quite like her. She didn't just enter the rap game cautiously or politely. She burst onto the scene with a boldness and rawness that immediately demanded attention. Her sound is unapologetic, her lyrics explicit and honest, and her personality larger than life. Sexyy Red's breakout moment came with her track Pound Town, a song that didn't just chart. It exploded on social media, especially TikTok and Instagram. Overnight, she went from a local name to a viral sensation, her music and persona spreading like wildfire across the internet. But Sexyy Red isn't just a viral moment. She's become a lightning rod for both admiration and criticism. To her fans, she's a refreshing breath of authenticity in a genre that often polices women's voices and sexuality. To her critics, she's too loud, too explicit, and too controversial. But whether you love her or hate her, you can't ignore Sexyy Red. Every interview, every post, every performance seems to spark headlines and heated debates. Just as Sexyy Red's fame skyrocketed, the rumors started to swirl. Whispers of a health crisis that could change everything. The chatter intensified when claims emerged that she allegedly exposed several well-known rappers, including Chief Keef, Drake, and Bowie, to a serious sexually transmitted infection. These rumors were never substantiated with evidence, but that didn't stop social media from erupting in speculation and outrage. The tension was further stoked by Sexyy Red herself, who posted a series of cryptic messages online. These posts hinted at health struggles and feelings of betrayal, but never explicitly confirmed what was going on. Fans scrambled to decode every word, analyzing screenshots and piecing together fragments of information to understand the truth behind the drama. Then the situation took a more serious turn. Rumors circulated that Sexyy Red had been seen at a hospital, sparking panic among her supporters and critics alike. For many of her fans, the possibility of a life-threatening illness was terrifying. But for others, it became ammunition to criticize her lifestyle and decisions. Accusations flew on social media that she was reckless and careless, dragging others down with her. In the midst of this chaos, Sexyy Red's own responses seemed to fuel the fire rather than calm it. Emotional, vulnerable posts hinted at betrayal and fear, painting a picture of a star grappling with a crisis that was far more complicated than the headlines suggested. Then, the story took an even more explosive turn. The name Boosie, another rapper known for his own unapologetic style, began to surface repeatedly in conversations about the scandal. According to online chatter, Sexyy Red appeared to suggest that Boosie was involved in the health mess she was dealing with. This revelation instantly turned the gossip into a full-blown drama. Social media exploded with reactions. Some rushed to defend Sexyy Red, claiming she was being unfairly targeted by haters trying to tear her down. Others accused her of shifting blame to protect herself. Comment sections across Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram became battlegrounds filled with heated debates, memes, and wild speculation. The private health issues of a rising star had become a very public spectacle. Interestingly, Sexyy Red had once publicly compared herself to Boosie, calling herself the modern-day Boosie. That comparison had caught Boosie's attention, and he appeared to welcome it. He praised her raw energy and fearless authenticity, noting that, like him, she comes from the trenches and simply stays true to herself, a persona that resonates with many fans. But when the STI rumors began to implicate him directly, Boosie's public tone changed. Instead of addressing the rumors head-on, he went silent. Despite viral clips and exaggerated headlines claiming he admitted to being infected by Sexyy Red, no verified statement from Boosie ever emerged. The silence only added fuel to the fire, allowing speculation and gossip to run rampant. The online backlash against Sexyy Red was swift and brutal. Many accused her of perpetuating harmful stereotypes and being a poor representation of women in hip-hop. One viral Reddit thread even described her as a minstrel show, a harsh critique, suggesting she was nothing more than a caricature created by the industry for profit rather than an artist with genuine talent. Critics tore into her music as well, dismissing her tracks as unlistenable and her delivery as sloppy. These negative opinions spread quickly, creating a stark divide in public perception. However, the narrative wasn't all negative. Major hip-hop outlets like XXL Magazine highlighted just how polarizing Sexyy Red had become, a figure who divides opinions sharply. On one side, some viewed her as evidence that the industry prioritizes shock value over skill, exploiting artists like Sexyy Red to generate buzz and controversy. On the other hand, many fans defended her as an entertaining, bold, and authentic voice who's simply expressing herself honestly. To these supporters, Sexyy Red's unapologetic personality and fearless approach to rap make her relatable and real. This split between seeing Sexyy Red as either a fearless trailblazer or a manufactured spectacle continues to define much of the conversation around her. The controversy around Sexyy Red has also sparked a broader, more important discussion about the rap industry's treatment of Black women and how sexualized images are marketed. On platforms like Reddit and hip-hop forums, fans and critics alike have debated whether Sexyy Red is simply being herself or whether she is being pushed into a cartoonish persona to maximize clicks and streams. Many argue that the way she is marketed plays into damaging stereotypes, reducing her to a caricature rather than celebrating her artistry and individuality. At the same time, others highlight the glaring double standards in hip-hop. Male rappers routinely flaunt wild behavior and hypersexual lyrics without facing the same level of criticism or scrutiny. When a Black woman does it, especially as openly as Sexyy Red, the backlash can be swift and severe. Some fans even speculate that Sexyy Red might be leaning into this larger-than-life persona intentionally, playing the game of virality and controversy in an industry where those factors can make or break a career. But this strategy is not without consequences. Critics argue that even if this is a calculated move, it perpetuates a cycle where shock value is rewarded over genuine creativity and where women like Sexyy Red become symbols of controversy rather than respected artists. At its core, the Sexyy Red saga isn't just about one rapper's rumored health crisis or one viral scandal. It's about how quickly gossip can spiral into full-blown public panic and how social media turns personal struggles into global spectacles. From cryptic social media posts to hospital sightings, from whispered rumors to explosive blame games, every twist and turn has left fans and critics scrambling for clarity, searching for truth in a sea of speculation. For some, this story reads like a tragedy. A rising star caught in a situation that could derail her career and damage lives. For others, it looks like a reckless stunt, a calculated drama feeding the internet's hunger for scandal. And for many, it's the perfect example of how the digital age amplifies gossip, turning rumors into feeding frenzies that are difficult to control or contain. So where does that leave us now? Sexyy Red's story is a messy, complicated glimpse into the realities of life in the spotlight, where personal health issues become public drama and relationships get tangled in rumor and mistrust. It's also a reminder that STDs don't discriminate and that no one is immune to these struggles, even celebrities. What started as jokes and gossip has turned into a serious conversation about honesty, health, and responsibility. What do you all think? Is this a cautionary tale about the importance of protection and communication? Or just the messy reality of being young, famous, and dealing with complicated relationships? How do you feel about Sexyy Red owning her story versus the way the internet has reacted? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I want to hear your take on this whole situation. And if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more deep dives into the latest stories and tea from the music industry and beyond.